going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Pro Source Pod. Today, we're going to be talking about long toss, what it is, how to do it the right way, how it can help you throw harder, and just become a better baseball player overall. So, first of all, diving into what long toss exactly is, pretty much it's just throwing the ball as far as you can. But there's a specific way to go about it. And Nick is going to take us through what we've been doing the past month and a half, building back up to 95 miles per hour and using long toss as a big part of that.
I mean, it's not really that complicated. Like on your way out, the thing that everyone kind of like messes up and they don't really realize they're doing it is they kind of like almost max effort the entire time out. It's supposed to be really easy to throw it far.
Yeah.
Like the effort that goes into it, there shouldn't be a lot of effort in there. So it's almost like if you can get to like the 60, 70 yard mark and like you feel like you're barely doing anything, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
But like when you throw it, especially like Eric, he's had like
that's what I was going to, dude. I literally couldn't long toss at first. I was firing bullets to your chest. Because I never learned how to long toss the right way.
So it's like if you ever played football, it's like a touch pass. It's like everything you're doing like on the distance. Like as soon as you get to like the 20-yard mark, you're trying to throw as high as you can to get it to go 20 yards to your partner. So it's like if you leave it in front of them, it's not a big deal. But like if you're short and like you're throwing bullets in the ground, like that's not what you want to do. Like you're supposed to take your time, throw it as high as you can, get the arc because it's supposed to like be easy on your arm.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like if you're gonna throw it like a low guy, you have to put some zip on it.
Yeah.
So it's like you stretching it out and going for the height as easy as you can. Like you're not throwing it. Say like you get to 100 yards, right? You're throwing as high as you can. Like once it's at apex, like you might only be throwing 85, but like it's an easier effort of that 85 instead of going the 100% on that pull down. Where like you might be throwing it 92.
Yeah.
But it's also a different trajectory. And it's like it's easier for you to go farther throwing it high.
Well, like
if you do it the right way, it's gonna like make everything a lot less stressful.
Yeah, well, like trying to go out to 100 yards and keeping the ball low and like not even necessarily trying to throw it on a pull down every single throw, but just like throwing it lower, not throwing it up like Nick is saying is really hard. And take it from me, the first 3 times we long tossed, this is what I was doing. And my arm was absolutely cooked. And then I started actually throwing it higher, using less effort to go out. And then after that, my arm would be
You should
fine.
feel loose from doing it. You should feel like
loose.
you just got hit by like a bus when you're done.
Exactly. You shouldn't really feel like you've done like a whole lot of work with your arm. Like if your whole body's tired, that's understandable because like throwing a ball 100 yards is not easy, and then pulling down after that is going to be stressful too. But it's like if your arm is cooked, you know you're doing something wrong. Like you have to be doing it the right way.
Like you should be trying to throw moon balls out there.
Yeah, you should be throwing it into the stratosphere, like quite literally, like throwing it straight up. But it's like it's the right way to go about it.
But it's like when you go to do the pull downs, like I feel like at first when you want to do long toss, like and you do pull downs, it's like I feel good now. Like I want to throw more and more and more. It's like the natural like progression of coming in from your throws. Like you might do 3 to 4. Like it's not going to be like 45 pull downs or 2 at every 10-yard mark or 20-yard mark. It's like you throw it, like you get it, you start running, you throw it in, and like you might get 3 or 4. But it's like it's not about like the pull downs. Like you're gonna move faster. Like you're obviously gonna do one at your max. Like both of you guys do one at your max, and then you start moving it in and taking that momentum with you and just keep going in. So it's like you're getting your work in. Like it's not like you're cutting yourself off from only throwing 4 to 5. Like move fast. You're gonna do it again. Just keep on going.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends on how you're feeling that day. Like if you're feeling really fucking good and you're just zipping balls 100 yards, not really even putting that much effort in, maybe you'll throw 10 pull downs on the way in. But
I mean, it's not even like you have like a radar gun to be like, oh, like I did this. It's like you're throwing it as hard as you can and trying to get it down.
Dude, that's like, another thing too. Like pull downs, I'm really curious to see what we're pulling down on our long toss. But like it's so much different than doing a pull down indoors.
Yeah.
It is so much different because like when you're just throwing a pull down indoors, you don't think about where it's going.
No.
You don't think about any of that. You don't think about form. You're just thinking of running up and throwing the baseball as hard as you can and seeing a number pop up on a velo board. Whereas if you do that, and like I have done that with some of our pull downs we've done outside, dude, good luck. It's gonna be horrible.
Yeah.
Like if you take some of our best pull downs indoors, and like if we did that, if that were an outside pull down, like during long toss, dude, it would probably be a horrible throw. It really would be. Like maybe not, but if you're throwing into a net like 10 feet away,
My 100-yard and 80-yard pull downs I feel
are
like
your
are my
best ones, 100%.
And I don't know what it is about when I get closer. I just feel like,
You kind of throw it into the ground.
yeah, I'm just like, you know what? This is weird. Like, I'm really close. Like, be perfect. It never comes out good.
Yeah, it's a weird one. But like regardless, pulling down, like both of those two things have, their they both have different uses, I guess I'll say. Like throwing inside, pulling down inside, like training your body to move fast. I don't think it's a complete waste of time. Like,
No.
it can be good, but
But, like, also, like, if you're going to go out there, it's like, if you're going to max effort everything you do on the mound, like, you're going to be a reliever.
Yeah.
And you only have so many bullets. And also, if you're max efforting it all the time, you're going to get hurt. So it's like, the easier it is for you to move fast. And, like, that's the whole point of, like, long toss and stretching it out and getting used to, like, very easy, like, distance and like, arm speed and stuff like that. It's like, when you actually go to perform, the hope is that your basement, like, your ground floor is going up.
yeah,
Because it's like, if you're max efforting everything, good luck.
yeah,
Like, you're probably going to get hurt at some point. Where it's like, I'm not saying you're not going to go blow it out every once in a while. Like, if you're a closer, like, if you're throwing 100, listen, like, you're not throwing that many. You're going to go out there and, like, that's what you're there for. But it's like, if you're a starter and, like, you're max efforting 90 pitches in a game, like, I mean, Jacob deGrom gets hurt.
yeah.
I don't know if he actually
That's
goes
a
after.
whole-
Yeah,
that's a whole
that's its own
difference,
thing.
yeah.
But it's like,
But it's like, would you say that your role as a pitcher, like your throwing should reflect that? Like if you're a starter, if you're a starting pitcher and you're expected to go 6+ innings, 80+ pitches every game, like dude, you should be fucking long tossing all the time.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't affect you.
well, the other thing is, like, if you're long tossing and you're actually doing it the right way, there's no need to do weighted balls. There's really none, which is going to keep you from getting hurt. I'm not anti-weighted balls or any of that stuff, but at the same time, it's like there's stuff behind it. Like, weighted balls are the shortcut, the kind of. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
It's
agree
like,
with that.
where it's like long toss isn't as sexy. It kind of sucks sometimes. It's like, it almost feels like a chore. But it's like, it does show up if you actually put the effort into it.
100%.
And it's like, there's no shortcut to, like, throwing harder. It's like, either, okay, I'm going to start throwing weighted balls as hard as I can, and I'm going to get that 1 to 2 pitch PR. Or I'm going to actually go long toss, like, take my time, put my effort in there, and, like, my arm's never going to feel like poop after.
100%, dude.
Like, there might be days you don't feel as good, but, like, you're never going to feel like absolute garbage. Like, sometimes you get out to 100 yards and that's it, or 90 and that's it. Like, some days you go to 120, 130. So it's like you're going to pick up on how far you're going to go that day anyway. So it's like, if you feel really good, like, you go farther. You keep pushing it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's like, some days it's like, okay, all I got is 100. Like, I'm not going farther than this. And that's all you do.
Well, it's like, I don't want to get too far off the topic of long toss in general, but it's like, dude, pitching development now has just gotten so far away from, like, just sticking to the skill of throwing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't have a problem with plyo balls. I don't have a problem with weighted balls. Like, all that stuff's cool. If that's your thing, go for it.
Yeah,
But it's
there's
like,
nothing
dude,
wrong with it.
what are you fucking doing? You're throwing a baseball. You're trying to throw a baseball hard. You're trying to get really, really, really good at throwing a baseball, right? Just practice throwing a baseball.
Well,
all
yeah,
the
and, like,
time.
just people aren't conditioned to throw anymore.
Yeah.
So it's
And
like,
they're all facility dogs.
Yeah.
They're facility dogs is such a real thing because I was one. I was one for a long time. And and it's just like, I know exactly what it is. Like, there's a reason why I'm able to throw as hard as I am now, doing just like throwing and no plyo balls, no weighted balls.
You're
Like,
throwing harder than you've ever thrown, and you didn't throw previous to us doing this.
yeah,
And
I wasn't throwing for 6 months.
And you haven't been throwing weighted balls. Like, it's been long toss and sprints and
Yeah.
like stuff that people have completely like kind of like said like don't do anymore.
Yeah, and it's like if you want to throw plyos, if you want to throw weighted balls, and you have a genuine reason behind it, that's fine. Like, go for it.
Don't just throw them to throw them.
Don't just throw them to throw them. But I think what I'm trying to say is you should have like long toss, sprint work, like a structured throwing program. Like that should be the base of what your training is. That should be the meat and potatoes, and then weighted balls, plyo balls, stuff like that. That's kind of just like icing on the cake or dessert.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say, it's like you don't need it necessarily, but it's like if it makes you feel good, if it helps you, and you have a genuine reason to do it, then fucking do it. Doesn't matter. But like long toss and sprint, that's all you need.
I don't really have any argument with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you can throw more, long toss more than once a week, like don't just go
for
once
sure,
a week. Yeah,
for sure. And that's another thing too. Like a lot of coaches told me in like travel ball and my early high school days, like, oh, you only need a long toss like once a week. It's like, dude, you can build yourself up to long toss every day.
Yeah,
you really can.
I mean, as a former like catcher position
Yeah,
player, like I told
that's
you,
what
I
you
used
were
to
doing.
long toss every single
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, and there's a reason. Like, your arm. Did your arm ever hurt in college?
No.
Yeah.
My arm really never hurt. Like the only thing that would hurt is like this is unrelated to like really throwing or anything from hitting. My wrists. I told you about it.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't do that, so I'd have to tape it, and I would be throwing like with a claw hand.
But dude, that's like
no elbow or shoulder.
That's another thing I wanted to talk about too. Like, bro, it's always pitchers who have arm pain. It's and like that sounds so ludicrous to say because like, oh no shit, your job is to throw all the time. But really think about it. Like position players, like you said, and like maybe it's different at other schools. You went to Cumberland, obviously. You guys were long tossing all the time. But it's like,
I mean, I did it in high school too.
Okay. Well, position players, you're throwing every day. You're throwing all the time. Like, think about it. You're doing your warm-up throws and then whatever drills you're doing at practice, ground balls, fly balls, whatever. Like, you're throwing a fuck ton.
But if you're consistent with it, you just get used to it. Like, your body's going to adapt. Like, obviously, if you've never done it, like, your first 2 weeks, you might be like, oh, I'm not feeling great. But it's like you got to get used to it.
Dude, I never hear, like, a lot of position players complaining about their arm hurting.
Yeah, it's not common.
Pitchers are kind of just like, my arm hurts all the time.
You'll get like it's happening more now, which is like
way more now.
I'm curious about what's going on with like some position players who like end up getting Tommy John. I don't even want to sniff what's going on with that, but it's like, to me personally, it might be a little bit of like, honestly, dude, if you play baseball and you've been playing for long enough, something's torn.
Something's torn, bro.
But it's like
there's something wrong.
It's like one of these guys where it's like, oh, like that's weird. I've never had any arm pain. It feels a little funny. What's going on? Like, oh, let's get it checked out. They get it checked out. It's like, like you got a slap tear or something going on. It's like, well, do I get surgery or am I out? And it's like, that's what happens a lot now more than anything. Like, there's been I've been finding out a lot of people get the fake Tommy John, but it counts as Tommy John. Where it's like,
what is that?
So it's like they don't have. It's like it's partially torn, but they can still repair it. But like it wasn't necessary for the surgery, but they get it anyway.
What's a PRP?
PCP shot?
PRP injection. Oh wait, no.
It's PCP.
They're two different things. PRP is like they inject ink to see if there's something torn. Do you ever hear of that?
Yeah, then you do PCP shots after that. So
PCP
is like your own
explain
blood.
That a little bit.
So a PCP shot is like they extract your blood and like they centrifuge it and then they put it back into the spot. And it's supposed to heal and it hurts like shit.
That's what I heard.
Like it hurts bad.
That's like similar to blood doping is.
Yeah, no, blood doping is.
It's like
Kobe Bryant. R.I.P.
It's blood doper.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, I mean, comes to long toss, like just do it more.
Yeah.
Actually put your intention into it. Like you're not going to get hurt long tossing properly.
No.
Like you warm up, you throw, you go as far as you can, you try to push it more and more. You start going farther. Oh crap. Now I can go to 120. I can only go to 90. a month and a half ago. Just keep going. Throw the ball as high as you possibly can with as low effort as far as you can. Like if you can get to like 80 yards without trying to do anything,
You're in a
then
pretty good shot.
and then you
Yeah,
gotta
you're in a
then you
good
start
spot.
ramping. Like you're not gonna be like barely doing anything the whole time. Like the goal is you throw it as high as you can without trying to do anything for as long as you can.
Yep.
And then once you have to start letting it go and ripping it to like throw it high and far, you're gonna reach a point where it's like I can't go any farther. But it's how long can you go before it's I got to actually work to get there, and then you go as far as you can working at it, and then at that point where it's like you're not getting it close, like or it's like I have one that's going there, I have one that's going over, I have one that's short. It's like okay, like that's like your max. Like throw like 5 or 6 there, and then move it in. Start doing your pull downs on the way in.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think we covered all the bases. Like, it's very simple, like you said. Just practice it, do it the right way, and
Your arm's
you
not
really
going to
won't
get
get
hurt.
hurt.
Yeah, your arm's not going to get hurt. It's not stressful. It's really just going to condition you more. So
Yeah.
at the very worst, say like you don't get a bunch of velo gains from it. Like you're definitely going to have more stamina.
Yeah,
You'll have more stamina and your floor is going to go up because it's like instead of you going out there and it's like I'm max efforting everything. It's like oh well I was able to start working on getting that down without trying to really gear up to do it.
You're bulletproofing your arm essentially. You really are. You're saving bullets. But yeah, that's long toss, guys. Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.